Good morning, learners. My name is Mr. Ocheng Anthony. Today I'm going to take you through Integrated Science Grade 7. We are going to handle the first strand that deals with scientific investigations. Welcome. I want you to take note that we have a number of terms that we are going to come across as we handle this particular strand on scientific investigations, and it is important that we know their meaning. So the first term that we shall come across is the term scientific investigation, and this basically involves asking questions and testing the possible answers that you obtain from those particular questions that you ask in order to generate knowledge and acquire explanations. The second term that you are going to come across is science, and science is basically the knowledge about the structure and behavior of the natural world based on facts that can be proved by experiments. Learners, I want you to take note that in science, because the facts that we are teaching you, we must prove them through experiment. Many a time you'll find yourself being taken to the laboratory because that is the exact area where those experiments are normally conducted. Apart from science, there is another term that we shall come across that we call integrated science. And integrated science is a broad learning area that normally involves the study of various branches of science together. Those various branches of science that we normally study together involves the following. Number one, we have biology. Number two, we have physics. And number three, we have chemistry. Biology is normally defined as a branch of science that deals with the study of living things. I want you to note that a living thing is anything that has life. They are normally categorized into two broad categories. The category number one, we have plants, and category number two, we have animals. The second branch of science is physics, and physics is a branch of science that normally deals with the study of matter and how that particular matter is related to energy. In our previous classes, learners, I want you to know that we say that matter is anything that has mass and occupies space. Then we categorize matter into three broad states. State number one, we said matter can be grouped into a state that we call solid. There is another state that we call liquid. And finally, we have the third state that we call gas. The third branch of science is chemistry. And chemistry is a branch of science that deals with the study of composition and properties of matter and the reactions that they undergo. Junior school learners, I want you to note that as you shall be studying integrated science, we have a number of importance that you will obtain from this particular learning area. Importance number one of studying integrated science is that it will help you to understand how your body systems function. Number two, the knowledge that you will acquire through studying integrated science will help you to explain nature. Number three, the skills that you will obtain from the studying of integrated science will help you to solve some of the problems in the environment, such as environmental pollution. And importance number four is that the skills that you'll obtain through studying of integrated science will help you to make some items such as water filters, which are very important in our day-to-day life. Again, junior school learners, I want you to take note that you will not remain in junior school forever. When you will get to grade 9, you will sit for an assessment that we call KJCA, which is a national assessment. Upon completion of that particular national assessment, you will be required to transit from junior school to senior school. And when you get there, we have three particular pathways that you can select and join. The first pathway that you will be required to choose from, there is a pathway that we call arts and sports science. The second pathway, we call it social science. And the third pathway, we call it science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, that we also call STEM. I want you to note that these three pathways have been grouped into subcategories. Those subcategories, we call them tracks. And in particular, the first pathway that we are calling arts and sports science have been divided into two subcategories that we are calling sport and science track, and the second track we are calling arts. In every particular subcategory that you will select as you shall be proceeding to senior school, will be having specific subjects from which you will be required to select. Like, for example, if a learner selects a pathway that you are calling arts and sports science, and thereafter selects a track that you are calling sports science, he or she will be having an option of doing a subject that you are calling sports and recreation. Learners that will take arts as their track will be having the following subjects to choose from. Subject number 1, we have music and dance. Subject number 2, we have theater and film. And subject number 3, we have fine arts. At the same time, if a learner selects a track that we are calling social science, that is, a pathway that we are calling social science, we shall be having two subcategories under social science that we are calling tracks. And our first track will be languages and literature. Under languages and literature, a learner will be required to select from the following subjects. Subject number 1, we shall be having literature in English. Subject number 2, we have fasihi ya Kiswahili. Subject number 3, we have indigenous languages. Subject number 4, we have sign language. Subject number 5, we have Arabic. Number 6, we have French. Number 7, we have Chinese that we also call Mandarin. And number 8, we have German. Apart from that particular track, there is still another track that we are calling humanities and business studies under this particular pathway that we are calling social sciences. And a learner that will be interested in this particular track will have the following subjects to choose from. Subject number 1, we have Christian religious education that we also call CRE. Subject number 2, we have Islamic religious education that we also call IRE. Subject number 3, we have Hindu religious education that we also call HRE. Subject number 4, we have business studies. Number 5, we have geography. And finally, number 6, we have history and citizenship. Under the third pathway that we are calling science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, the subcategories that will be found in that particular pathway, we have 3 of them. The first subcategory is a track that you are calling applied science. Learners that will be interested in that particular track will have to select from the following subject. Subject number 1, we have agriculture. Subject number 2, we have computer studies. Subject number 3, we have home science. Still, another learner may decide to go for a different track under that particular pathway that you are calling STEM. And suppose that learner takes a track that you are calling pure science, he or she will be required to select from the following subjects. Subject number 1, we have biology. Subject number 2, we have chemistry. Subject number 3, we have physics. And subject number 4, we have general science. Still under STEM pathway, we have the third track that we can choose from. And this third track, we are calling it career and technical studies. The subjects that will be offered under career and technical studies, we have subject number 1, aviation. Subject number 2, we have woodwork. Subject number 3, we have power mechanics. Subject number 4, we have media technology. Subject number 5, we have electricity. Apart from electricity, a learner may also select a subject known as building and construction. There is another subject known as plumbing. And still, there is another subject known as engineering. Learners, I want you to note that in senior school, all the subjects that are offered there have been grouped uh, into categories. We have three broad categories. The first category are the subjects that we are calling the core subjects. And the core subjects, these are the subjects that will be compulsory for all learners, meaning that every learner that joins senior school from junior school will be required to handle that particular or those particular subjects. The core subjects that we are talking about includes the following. Number one, we have English. Number two, we have Kiswahili. Number three, we have mathematics. Apart from those three, we also have another group of core subjects that will be handled by all learners in senior school, and those two includes community service learning. Then we have pastoral stroke religious program for the institution. Learners, I want you to note that the first three subjects will be taught in senior school, and at the same time we are calling them examinable subjects because you will be required to sit for an assessment in those particular subjects. The last two subjects, however, will be taught in senior school to all learners. However, these two subjects will not be examinable. The second category of subjects in senior school is the category that we are calling supportive subjects. And in this category that we are calling supportive subjects, we have a subject like physical education. Then we have another subject that we are calling information communication technology. These two subjects are very important because they will be equipping the learners with some skills that will be required in handling both the core subjects and the elective subjects that they will be selecting depending on a particular pathway and a particular track that they will have selected as they shall be joining senior school. Uh, Learners, I want you to know that out of the three pathways that we have learned today, the pathway that is normally related to integrated science is a pathway that we are calling science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, that is normally abbreviated as STEM. Under STEM, we have four tracks that have been listed there. Track number one is a track that we are calling pure science. Then track number two, we have applied science. Track number three, we have technical and engineering. Then track number four, we have career and technical studies. Learners, again, I want you to take note of the following. The last two tracks, that is technical and engineering and career and technical studies, when you get to senior school, they have been grouped together to form one particular track that we are calling technical studies. So in conclusion, or rather to sum it up, the three main tracks that are found in STEM as a pathway, we have pure science, we have applied science, then we have career and technical studies. Those learners that will select STEM as their pathway, what are some of the careers that these particular learners will end up doing in future after completing their senior school and completing their tertiary education? Some of the careers that these learners can go for include the following. Number one, we have university professor. Number two, a learner can do medicine. Number three, you can become a pharmacist after doing pharmacy. At the same time, you can become a scientific expert or a researcher. You can become a mathematician. You can become a medical doctor. You can become a nurse. You can become a dental officer that we call a dentist. At the same time, you can become a university lecturer. You can become a scientist. You can become a pharmacist. You can become a biotechnologist. You can become a laboratory technologist. You can do actuarial science and become an actuary. You can do industrial chemistry and become industrial chemist. Learners, today what we have learned is that in this particular learning area that we are calling integrated science, we shall be learning three branches of science that have been grouped together. And those 3 branches of science include biology, we have chemistry, and we have physics. Studying in integrated science is very important as far as your junior school education is concerned, because number one, it is a career subject. Number two, it will help you to acquire some skills that will help you to solve some of the environmental problems. And at the same time, the skills that you'll get from there will help you to make some of very important materials and things in life that will help you to do so many things like water filters. Once you are done with junior school, you will be expected to exit junior school and transit to senior school, and thereafter you will be required to select 3 pathways from which you will be doing your studies. Those 3 pathways, we have social science, we have arts and sports science, and then we have STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Thank you so much.